The number 3 Boilermakers, positioned for a 1 seed according to our Jerry Palm. They can clinch the outright Big Ten regular season title with a win here on the road in Champaign. Illinois, currently a 4 seed, can stay alive to share that title with a win here, and then the chips falling the proper way on Sunday. And taking care of business early on, Nicolo Moretti drives, kicks it back to Quincy Guerrier. Illinois up 9. Guerrier 10 points in the first half. That was a team high. Less than a minute later, Zach Edey inside with ease, closing seconds of the first half. Edey saw very few doubles on the inside in the first half. Like, get no respect. Points, take them. Edey, 18 points in the first half on 9 of 13 from the field. Second half now, Purdue down 2, and help side defense starting to come, more bodies, but Edey still eating. Game tied at 49. Edey finished with 28 and 8. 3 minutes later, Lance Jones takes it in the corner, kicks it over to Gillis. 3 for the lead, got it. Purdue leads by 2, their first lead of the game. 3 minutes later, Braden Smith bringing it up, finds Gillis, finds 3 more. Purdue up 6. This one not done just yet. The Illini trying to offer a run of their own here inside 5, down 2. Marcus Damask hard in the paint, had himself a game, keeping his team in it. We are tied at 64, under a minute now. Purdue back up 3. Edey kicks it out, and Jones cashes the triple. Boilermakers back up 6. Next possession, Damask has an opening, takes it, +1. Illinois down just 3 after the free throw. Damask 20 points on the day, but could they complete the comeback? Under 30 now. Need a stop, need the ball. Smith says, think again. There's your dagger. Purdue wins at 77-71. Back-to-back Big Ten champs with the win as they improve to 7-0 against AP top 25 opponents this season. And here's a look at those wins, coming by an average of 6 points against some of the best the country has to offer. This is the first time Purdue has won 7 straight games against AP-ranked teams since the 87-88 season when they rattled off 8 in a row. They also snapped Illinois' 6-game home winning streak. Purdue now cemented on a 1 line for the Big Ten tourney. Also going to be hard to shake them out of that 1 line for the big tourney. 27-3, and will wrap up the regular season against Wisconsin at home on Sunday. All right, let's dive in with our guys, our senior bracketologist, Jerry Palm, in studio. And for that, we are thankful. Kyle Boone joining the conversation as well. I got West Lafayette sitting next to me, Kyle, so I'm going to go Jerry's way first here. I know this is one that came with a whole bunch of weight, but before we push it forward, let's assess this sample size for Purdue, because it wasn't a linear performance. Second half really turned it on, 8 of 10 from range. Where did you see this team adjust from one half to the other, Jerry?
Actually, what they did was adjust to Illinois, because Zach was really just taking everything in the first half. They were going one-on-one with him, and he was just eating. And then they came out and they tried to double Zach and open shooters. And Zach is really good at finding open shooters, and Purdue shooters didn't hit in the first half, but they were hitting in the second half when they were getting cleaner looks. And Purdue came back, and Illinois has got to be sitting in that locker room right now wondering what the heck happened. They felt like they had control of the game deep into the second half before Purdue finally got a lead. But once the Boilermakers did get the lead, they put the foot on the gas and put it away, and that's what this team has been doing all year.
Yeah.
That they don't, adversity doesn't bother them. They just keep coming and coming and coming.
They certainly looked comfortable in the final minutes of this game where things tended to tighten on the Illinois side. Kyle, when you look at this data point, because that's really what we're dealing with right now, this is a road win, and if I may parrot, Jerry Palm, you said the best road win.
No, their best win period of the season. Because it's on the road.
And it comes in the penultimate matchup of that regular season schedule. What did this mean to you in terms of what we project Purdue as in the postseason?
I think it was a huge confidence boost if you're backing Purdue, because I think coming into the season, we wanted to see, can the guard play around Zach Edey improve? Can they make shots when it really matters? And it looked a little bit dicey, to be honest, in this game. Purdue struggled shooting it in the first half. Edey dominated. He got whatever he wanted. Illinois changed its defensive scheme up a little bit, as Palm noted, and Purdue got a lot of open shots in the second half, and they knocked down a bunch of open shots. Fletcher Loyer and Braden Smith, a perfect 5 for 5 from 3-point range in the second half. Purdue as a team, 8 for 10 from three-point range in the second half. Lance Jones didn't even play particularly well. So, I think this is very encouraging if you're Purdue, because you wanted to see the improvement, the development of this backcourt, being able to make shots in a tough environment and playing, kind of persevering through a tough game, I think was really encouraging for the Boilermakers.
Jerry, before we move forward here, I do want to attach some numbers to it, because we are in a way cementing a 1 seed both in the Big Ten tournament, that we know, with back-to-back outright Big Ten titles now. When you look at the road ahead, Big Ten tournament, one more game, it'll be Purdue hosting Wisconsin on Sunday. Is there any way that we're not looking at a 1 seed in the Purdue Boilermakers when we talk about the big tourney?
No, there's no way. And what's interesting is that for 2 weeks at least, you've had Purdue, UConn, Houston separated from the rest of college basketball. I was saying 2 weeks ago, those 3 teams could each lose twice in the rest of the season. They would still be the top 3 teams in the bracket. That's how far away they were from the 4th number 1 seed. Well, Purdue's only got 2 games left now, so they're definitely a lock as a number 1. They'll be the overall number 1 still in my bracket, although that could change between now and Selection Sunday. But, it's UConn, Houston, Purdue, whatever order they're in, it actually doesn't matter, because none of those teams are competing for preferred sites, and that's what really matters to these teams.
Okay, well, this is what all that is at stake, and this is why Jerry Palm is here to run us through it all. Let's take a look at those top 4 seeds. Top 8, let's take you through your 2s as well, but you said it, Jerry. UConn, Purdue, Houston, pause. Everybody else. Tennessee is that next and last one we are looking at. When we assess this pack, I know this is a season worth of data points, Jerry, but when you look at those 3 teams that you say have set themselves apart, we know when it gets to March, things can get crazy, but what is the value in being that far ahead of everybody else in the eyes of people like you?
Well, I don't know that there's value in the eyes of people like me, but there's value to them in being that far up. The thing about these teams is there's a lot of confidence in what they do, and they're different. All 3 of these teams are different. Houston is a defensive monster, and so they win. All 3 of these teams win games in different ways, but they all do it at such a high level that they're going to go into the NCAA tournament knowing they're capable of winning the whole thing. And the other teams that are going in may think they can win the whole thing, but these 3 know they can.
Frame it however we like. It is a massive win on the road for the Purdue Boilermakers, further cementing themselves as that 1 and maybe a 1-1. One more look at your box score. It was 77-71. Your final score is number 3 Purdue takes down the top 15 ranked Fighting Illini, who had an opportunity out in front of them. It was not out of the question that with a win here and the right chips falling on Sunday, it could have been a shared Big Ten title, but instead it's back-to-back for the Boilermakers.
Number 7 Tar Heels hosting the Fighting Irish. UNC a projected 2 seed according to Jerry Palm's projection. Can clinch a share of the ACC regular season title with a win against Notre Dame mid-first half. RJ Davis with the ball, takes a move, pulls up from 3 and buries it. Tar Heels up 5, and Davis was just getting started in this one. Next possession, Davis steals the ball away from Marcus Burton, and Davis goes coast to coast for the land. Tar Heels up 7, part of a 12-2 run from North Carolina. Davis had 11 points, 3 rebounds, and 3 assists in the first half. Tar Heels would lead by 16 heading into the second half. Tar Heels in transition. Cormac Ryan finds Davis. Davis launches a 3, and it's good. Tar Heels up 22. Davis had 22 points on 9 of 15 shooting. Early second half, Harrison Ingram finds Armando Bacot beyond the arc. Bacot puts up the 3 and drains it. Tar Heels up 27. North Carolina would open the second half on a 16-0 run. 3 minutes to go in the game. Davis inbounding finds Bacot. Bacot puts up a 3, and that's buckets. Bacot splashing from downtown on senior day. The Tar Heels go on to win 84-51, clinching a share of the ACC regular season title. An SEC battle out in Gainesville, Alabama, 4 seed. According to Jerry Palm, having won 4 straight against Florida, the Gators projected as an 8 seed, 13-1 at home this season, looking to continue that dominance here for mid-first half. Riley Kugel beats Alex Condon, who throws it down. Florida up 3. Gators rolling early and often in this one. 5 minutes to go in the first. Off the Alabama miss, Rebound, kicks out to Real Richard. He does the dirty work himself, goes coast to coast for the slam. Florida up 9 at the half. Richard had 9 points and 3 rebounds in the first half. 14 minutes to go in the second. Gators moving the ball around. Zion pulling, feeds Condon, who sinks the 3. Florida up 15. Condon and Florida taking it right to the Crimson Tide. A few minutes later, Condon, he's going to take the ball from the top of the key. He drives. He gets the reverse layup to fall plus the foul. Florida up 20 after the made free throw. Condon with 10 points, 7 rebounds, and 3 blocks. In the bench, they're loving what they see. Under 5 to go. Off the Florida miss. Micah Hanlogton feeds Richard, who hits the 3. Richard finished with 23 points, and Florida goes on to win 105-87, extending their home winning streak to 8 straight.